Now, don't get me wrong, I love hamburgers, but I really love steak sandwiches, particularly when they're made very simply with a few really good ingredients. So I want to char grill the steak because it gives it that lovely smoky flavour. So I'm preheating my grill pan here. This is a fantastic grill pan because it not only goes on a gas cooktop, but also induction. So you really get that beautiful barbecue flavour, but you don't have to go outside. This is really good when you want a steak sandwich in winter. So this is sirloin. You want about 200 grams, and I've cut it in half and removed the fat. Now we want these to be minute steaks. We want them to be super, super thin. It's all about flash frying. I'll get 2 pieces of glad bake, and just to thin them out, I like to place them just between the piece of glad bake, the other one on top. This just protects them as we just pound them out so they're even and really thin. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. We want these steaks to be really thin because it's all about the ratio in the bread roll. You don't want a big piece of thick steak because you can imagine biting into it and the meat just falling out. So you want it to be able to bite it, and it just is so tender it falls apart. So a little oil, so extra virgin olive oil for this. Drizzle that on one side, and salt and pepper. So a good pinch of salt and freshly cracked pepper. And we'll just turn it over and just make sure both sides are coated. Now it's quite delicate now, so just be really careful so it doesn't break apart. And look, I love how there's a little bit of marbling in a sirloin, one of my favourite cuts. You could also use rump for this or fillet of beef. Last bit of salt here. And we are almost ready to fry. Now, naturally, you want to add the steak first, but because they take no time at all to cook, I want to get on with the caramelised onions to go into this steak sandwich. So just half an onion, a classic brown onion is great for this. Really thinly sliced. That should do it. And always when I'm grilling in a grill pan like this, I like to add my oil to the ingredient and then add it. Never add the oil to the grill pan because it just gets caught in the grill and it means you're going to need more oil. Some salt. And just with your hands, break up and separate the little layers of onions and then into the pan. So we've got a nice sizzle there. And I know this is hot because that thermo signal is solid red. And we'll just let them caramelise on one side while I prepare the bread. So a beautiful big chunky bread roll for this. A ciabatta works nicely too. And with a serrated knife, we're just going to cut that straight down the centre and in half. Ooh, the crustier the better for this. Okay, press down on it, and our good friend extra virgin olive oil, a drizzle on each side. And we'll pop this into another grill pan. You can also just do this in a fry pan. Press down onto it, and I want to get those char marks. Okay, let's have a look at these onions. Yes, that's what we're after. A nice caramelisation. So in with our very thin minute sirloin on one side of the grill and then the other. And then give this about 1 minute, no more than 1 minute on each side, then it's ready to plate up. And these are ready to turn now. I've pretty much cooked it on one side, so it just needs a little moment on the other. And look at those char marks, that's what we're after. Smells so good. These onions are ready, and I like to add a splash of vinegar at this point. So just a little splash, you'll see it steam up, makes them taste even better. Okay, we are ready to start building our steak sandwich. So let's grab these off the grill. Oh yes, perfectly charred on both sides. We'll grab a palette knife. You can use tomato sauce or some relish or barbecue sauce. I'm in the mood for barbecue sauce. So use a really good quality barbecue sauce, the best you can get, because there is a difference between them. Spread that all the way to the sides, and just with another knife, some good quality mayonnaise. Again, spreading it all the way to the sides. Be generous with the sauces because it's not only to be absorbed by the bread, but it has to season our lettuce and everything else. So let's take one of these minute steaks off onto the mayonnaise side. Lots of onions. Top them up. And some lettuce leaves. You can use just simple rocket for the pepperiness or some mesclun. You could add some tomato, but what I'm trying to do here is keep it simple. Beautiful steak, beautiful sauces, beautiful bread, a little lid on top. And just press down on that and we can serve it. Now you have to cut into this steak sandwich, so a sharp knife straight down the center. Just have a look at that. See how everything is perfectly blended together. There's not too much of anything. Let's pile it on top of each other. I'll grab a nifty little skewer to put it in its spot. Pop that onto a little serving plate and it is ready to go. No need to wait for this. You want to dig in. The only thing that's missing here is maybe a side of chippies.